Welcome to this recording of a short tutorial on Sysrev and how to get records into Sysrev via an external search from an academic database. So for most literature reviews that involve any kind of comprehensive searches and screening of search results, the standard process for pulling those search results together is running searches in a number of different sources, usually a set of academic databases, including multidisciplinary databases, as well as discipline-specific databases. And in this video, I'll show you an example of how this might look for a typical systematic lit review process, including running the search in one database, exporting results, and then importing those results into my Sysrev project. So in this example, we'll be running a search for a demo review of reviews on wildfire impacts. So in this case, we're looking for systematic reviews, scoping reviews, meta-analyses, other kinds of formal literature review publications that have been published on wildfire impacts. And I've actually already run searches for a number of databases on this topic, so you can see I've already got a lot of records in my project. But I'm just going to show you how you might go about updating a search in one of the databases. So I'm going to rerun my search in a database called Web of Science. This is a large multidisciplinary database, and we can find that through the library's website. So all of our databases are from the home page under the databases e-resources and tools list. It's Web of Science. And often when you click on that link from the website, this will automatically default to selecting all of the sub-databases in Web of Science. And as you can see, there's some databases here, for example, current chemical reactions, that really aren't relevant to the review that I'm doing. Also, in this case, there's book citation indices, and maybe for some reason I'm not interested in finding articles from books or maybe even conference proceedings. So in this case, I'm actually just going to select a subset of these. I'm going to look at the science citation index and the social sciences citation index. And I'm going to go to the advanced search. So I've documented all of my searches in a previous Word document, which is here. So for these kinds of reviews, it's really important to document your searches exactly as you ran them, including the date of the search, number of results from the database, as well as the database name and the platform in which you search that database. So you can get certain databases through different platforms, and depending on where you get those databases, it might differ how you would design your search. So that's just an important piece of reproducibility for your search reporting. I will say these are sort of, gets into a little bit of complexities with how these different databases work. And I would highly encourage you to come talk to the libraries about designing these kinds of searches. We have evidence synthesis program that is here specifically to help you design these very robust, comprehensive, and reproducible search strategies. Just come to our evidence synthesis program page and submit a consultation request, and we can help you with that process. So as you can see, previously I ran a search on wildfires and systematic reviews. In Web of Science, I'm just going to do the same search again. So in Web of Science, I'll put this here. This TS indicates that I'm looking for these terms in the titles, abstracts, and keywords of the records. Add it to my history, and we can see we get 302 results. So there's a few more than I got the first time around. I got 278 when I ran this back in August. So there's definitely some new records here. I'm going to go ahead and export all of these. So if I click on this record, I can export all of these records. Every database is going to have different ways of doing this. In Web of Science, you click on Export. Generally speaking, you're going to want to use the RIS format. This is a very common machine-readable citation format that Sysrev will be able to import. And in Web of Science, it gives me the option to either just do all the records on the page or all of the records in my search, up to 1,000 results. So I'll go ahead and do all of these 302. And also very important when you're exporting for any kind of review project like this, you want to make sure you include the abstract. That's often not the default for these exports. So make sure you choose either the full record or the option that includes the abstract. Okay, so this gave me an RIS file that hopefully will import into Sysrev. So when I go back to my Sysrev project, to import records, I go to the Manage tab, Add Documents, and I can just drop this RIS file right here into this window. So it's importing these records. And you can see that it imported 302 unique records. So this looks like it may not have removed the duplicates from this process. It actually just created new records. So now I'm going to actually have quite a bit of duplicates in here. So that's something to keep in mind. And we have some recommendations for how you might go about removing duplicates prior to importing it into your Sysrev project. There's a couple of different tools you can use like SR Accelerator, Deduplicator, or even a citation manager like Zotero. Import records into Sysrev project.